You know, I initially gave my thoughts on Cloud Miskaner, and I wasn't sold on this character. I felt like she just was missing some juice. I felt like she wasn't that great. And so what I wanted to do is look at some of the other content creators and some of their videos and the tests that they ran to see if maybe I was wrong. If maybe I was missing something. And Cloud Miskaner is actually an insane unit. I racked my brain. I ran some numbers, and I can conclude everyone's lying. Cloud Miskaner is fine. You can clear some content with her, and you can do insane plunging damage. But come on, let's relax a little bit on the lies. Let's relax on the BS. Let me give it to you straight. I think there's misinformation going out there. Well, actually, the math has been... Stop. Stop. Stop right now. Look at me. The math was done on Klee. Who's playing Klee? How many of you are playing Klee? Exactly. So stop it. The math was done on so many units, but there's just something missing here, all right? I think that I need to start this off before everyone rages. Listen, it's just a character. It's just a character. I've got my opinion. You don't have to listen to me. You don't have to believe me. Go watch Gotcha Gamer. Go watch the Jeff. I don't care who you pick. Go watch your people. Enjoy your character. Have some fun. Turn me off. If you like the character, you want to play it, let's start with some pros and cons first, okay? Looks really cool. All right, little Bayonetta vibe, that's great. The other thing is she can enable some kind of goofy stuff. If you go to Zajeff's Twitter right now, okay, let's go to Zajeff's Twitter right now. I think this is a great showcase of this, all right? My guy jumps in and pops off. Oh, whoa, the video, where'd it go? Pops off. Now, granted, using Bennett C6, which is kind of a requirement for this, using Cloud Miskaner, and using Fiorina. But using Ayato here to essentially just do these crazy plunging vape attacks, because they're going with the Hydro application, and Bennett is now allowing him to do fire. But you could do this with many different combos, but it does allow you to hit quite hard, all right, and clear content. Sweet. A new playstyle has been unlocked. Nice big chunky hits. But I'm going to tell you this right now. I can clear this same boss with Xiangling and Xingqiu just as fast. All right? This isn't like this crazy thing. Cloud Disclaimer is not making this like insane, oh my god, busted thing. She's opening up a door. All right? And another great example of that is there's videos going around. All right, I'll show you here. I Win to Lose, my gamer, shows off a great example of this, of what the kit does. You can go in here if you want to check this out. You can see Xianyun going in and buffing, the Dragon Strike. You can see with the Bennett. You can see D-Luke stuff. And there are some interesting characters, like our boy Xiaoluke, who can have some pretty crazy results, all right? Hundreds of thousands of damage, for sure. For sure. If you start looking at D-Luke and you look at his normal attack, look at this plunging damage. This thing is crazy, all right? 400%. And then you're buffing it up even more. You're getting extra crit rate. I get it. Cloud Miskaner is cool because maybe she's bringing some characters out of the vault. But is she better than Irina or Raiden or not this bowl-cutted idiot, Raiden or Yelan or Kazuha or I mean, it's right there. She's on the other banner. She's right there. Is she better than Nahida? She does something different. I get it. I know. But as someone who plays this game, and with new players that are always joining, who maybe aren't knowledgeable, I can't make a video and hype her up. I can't make a video and be like, oh my god, this character's crazy. Because at best, she's a niche upgrade for one team, and she's a side upgrade for a couple more at best, and a downgrade in others. I just cannot, in my right mind, tell people to get this character unless they just want to meme around and have some fun. If you do your thing. So I have to start the video with that. But honestly, I think she is just kind of trash. A Primo Gem is a Primo Gem is a Primo Gem. She can heal, but not as good as Jean. She's different healing, though, because it's sustained. Okay. Is she a better healer than Kokomi? No. Is she a better healer than Bennett? No. Can she be with Bennett? Sure. Can she boost her damage for plunging? Yes. Can she give some cool crit rate? Sure. Can she shred the enemies with Verdescent Set? Yes, she can. Okay, now we found her niche. Or wait, could we also just use Kazuha to buff our elemental damage and shred them as well? Or let's just scoop on back here. Could we use Sucrose to also do the same goddamn thing and boost up our EM like crazy and hit even harder? I just feel like it's this thing where erectile dysfunction is like, she's fine, she's cool, but I think people are not being fair. I'm not going to say she's trash, but I don't think she's like this god tier unit. And people in chat are just like, you're wrong. She is amazing. And that's fine. But my question is, and then I'll move on. My question is it because of math like this? So Gotcha Gamer, I have to call you out on this.
Yeah.
All right. He's talking, the plunging damage is good. For sure. Okay. He's doing normal plunges, 52,000 damage. With Cloud McGlager, 90,000, right? 74,000 or 74% damage buff, hitting harder, for sure. But then here's the issue. Here's the issue with the video. Is my guy makes one fatal flaw, and this is where you gotta check things, and this is where you have to consider things. Is he starts saying, okay, well, now check this out. The normal D-Luke is hitting 52,000 damage. Well, Cloud Retainer is making it 147,000 damage because he's vaping. He's vaping as well. He's not getting a vape on the other side. So if you start throwing a vape on the other side, it is a lot closer here. And then you start have to question all these different things. It's like, well, okay, well, if you're flying in the air like a bird, right? I'm flying through the air, I'm slamming down. I understand, big number, good. But am I taking time away from my Xingqiu doing damage, or my Yelan doing damage, or my Kazuha doing damage, or my other things going on, right? Absolutely, I understand that Cloud Retainer can boost up and cause this. But you also have to remember that Kazuha is also, at the same time, if he was in your team, going like this, yeah, and he's got a tornado, and he's going like this, and it's hitting him, and it's debuffing him over and over, and it's doing all these other things. And it's like they just gloss over that. I hate it. I hate it. Because they look at the big number, they see this, and they're like, 186% more damage. Look at this fucking number. And it's like, I understand that, but the 10,000 damage hitting all area of effect, multiple units are getting tagged, adds up to a lot of damage. And with a lot of floors, with a lot of enemies, there are situations where she's not looking as good. Okay, single target, maybe. But I just don't think that this stuff is fair. And I think that in Zajeff's video, I gotta find it. I don't know, there's so much going on here. Zajeff kind of, I feel like kind of proves the fact here as well somewhere with D-Luke, where he does like a 50,000 damage hit, and it's cool and all, but then he follows up right after. I think it's right here. Okay?
Cloud Retainer herself.
He follows up right after, and he does like a normal version, and it's like 42,000 damage, 100,000 damage, 42. And so it's like damage per screenshot, good, but also regular D-Luke, whenever he ends up doing it, is still hitting like a truck as well. And so when you start taking into account, well, now I could use someone like Yelan or Xingqiu to be attacking while doing my normal attacks, I don't know. Obviously, if you're using Cloud Retainer, you wouldn't use Yelan or Xingqiu. Maybe you want to use someone else. But is the math of plunging D-Luke better than normal D-Luke, but also crazy Xingqiu who fucking hits one E? My Xingqiu on an E can do 100,000 damage. So it's like, yeah, he like for sure. D-Luke, good. But now you've taken this other insane DPS unit out of the mix. And again, I know that they might have different teams. I get it. People are going to be like, well, actually, you wouldn't use them together. I know you're going to do that to me. But I don't know. I just feel like she might be slightly better. And if the math fully says, and people want to test it, it says she's better, do your thing. But at the end of the day, you also have to like plunging. And I find plunging so uninteresting. Now, that being said, I also use Ayato, that is, in some people's eyes, the most boring character in the game, because he just goes, shing, 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 and he just does the same animation 50 times. I get it. Not everyone likes the same characters. And I like D-Luke. I like using E, attack. I like the feeling of it. And so, essentially becoming budget Xiao, for me, not fun. There is a reason. If you go over here and you look into my character archive, is Xiao on my team? No. He's had 5 chances and I said no! Every single time. So, I don't know. I just, as someone who is dumb, as someone who makes terrible content, I have a hard time recommending her. Because I don't know where your account is. I don't know at what stage you're at. And unless you've got some of the core units, it's hard for me to get excited. And the final thing is the end of the day. Can she be more valuable than Hyperbloom? Is she more valuable than Nouvelette, who's power crept like every DPS unit in the game? Probably not. Probably not. So depending on your polls, depending on your economy, depending on that wallet you've got going on, I think that she is a skip for me, and I will not recommend her. But I will not deny, and so clip this before you spread misinformation. Clip this. I will not deny that she opens up some doors, and she opens up some comps. And there's a couple of situations where it actually may be a DPS increase, at the cost of potentially making the playstyle more clunky and more boring and less face roll. And so if the Genshin community is so casual that word gets thrown around, we don't want to get stressed during the abyss, I have a question for you. Do you want to play like this? Okay, fuck, plunge, and we gotta do a normal attack in between. Plunging attack and normal attack. We gotta do a charge cancel. Or do you want to go, yeah, look at this. I cleared all the content in the game doing this. Hell yeah, baby. Yeah, baby, I cleared it all. Or do you want to equip a little Nahida and Cookie Shinobu and go, I'm just standing here and everything's dying with Hyperbloom. You know what I'm saying? Like, are the people that are playing this new unit and getting these crazy plunges, are they this sweaty? Like, I'm literally glistening. I'm glistening because I'm talking about this so much. Is it worth it? Is it worth it for you? Maybe not. If you're on your mobile, it might not be worth it. Maybe too many button presses. I don't know. But I don't know. I just have a hard time with people look at the numbers, they look at the plunge value, they do the math, and they go, crazy. And they don't factor in maybe the ease of use or the other options or what does she enable other than like D-Luke. I don't know. I just feel like every goddamn character that comes out is like, well, she's hot, and that's fine. But even if she is hot or she isn't hot, every character that comes out is god tier, is amazing, is game changing. She opens up a door. She's fine, but like, come on. Where do we draw the line? When Nouvelette came out, it was apparent. It was mathematically proven. It was so easy to use in so many ways. He's busted. I can understand hyping up Nouvelette. I can understand hyping up Nahida. I can understand idiots like me not realizing how good Kazuha is, but everyone else realizing how good he is, and everyone getting super excited and being like, oh my god, this is a must-pull unit. But it feels like every character that comes out is like, oh, they're a must-pull. This one niche thing is a must-pull. It's not. It just isn't. And so I want to give you my opinion, because it is different than the other people, and I don't have to be right. I don't have to be right, but I at least want to give you my argument that I think that she's overrated. I think other people also say it in their videos. And I don't want to roast these people that made these videos, because I think a lot of them all say it in the closing thoughts. All of them make a comment. That's an old picture of Tecton, by the way. All of them say it. Should you pull? Can you pull? Would you pull? And they all say similar stuff. But it's the initial impression of like, C0 is a game changer. And it's like, define game changer. Opens up a new playstyle and is unique. Yes, for sure. But I don't know. I just like, don't like to pretend that they're like this busted thing. And while we're on the topic, I have to pull you in here for one more second. If you pull on this banner, I will actually beat you up. I will find you. I will chase you down. I will hunt you down. If you pull on this banner, I just can't take you seriously. I can't respect you anymore. Do whatever you want. 1,000 Floating Dreams is good. It is fine. You got Nahida juiced up, for sure. But you can also use something like the Wid Sith and get so much value to that thing too. It's a nice thing. The issue is, if you miss and you get this and you don't have Cloud Blainer, this thing is so bad and only works on her. It is the worst weapon I think that has almost ever dropped. It is in like the bottom 2 or 3 weapons that have ever dropped. An attack percentage scaling piece with a high base attack that requires plunging and your other units to plunge. It is so bad. And you can get 2 of these bad boys. You can go down the epitomized path. You can spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And if you don't have her as well, oh my god. But at the end of the day, please, for the love of God, don't hyper invest into her. Just please don't do that. And if you're going to do it, here's the beautiful thing. And I think it was in Gotcha Gamer's video, he talked about it. Skyward Atlas, passable. It's got attack percentage here. But this is actually a pretty awesome option. The Prototype Amber, it can give you this energy back, and it also heal your team. Pretty cool option. It doesn't have a ton of attack scaling, but Prototype Amber is a free option. You could use something like this. You could even use like Favonius. Get some crit rate, and this will give you energy recharge, so you can use your ultimate more. You can give your team energy. I just don't want anyone going down that path and making that mistake. Finally, as for the 4 stars, Noelle is not used a ton. At C6, she's got some potential. Farazan is one of those units that only gets a huge chunk of her value at C6. I hate this. I despise this. A lot of characters are fine. Some of these constellations are passable. They give you a little bit more energy or a little bit more damage. And then it's like, oh, by the way, 40% more crit damage to these animal units. And it's like, okay, I guess. That's pretty crazy. It makes you want to pull it. You get to 4 or 5 constellations and you do a couple more pulls because it's like, oh, if I could just unlock this. And I just feel like it's a scummy tactic. And then you compare it with someone like Chevreuse, who just came out, and even at C0 has a ton of value in her regular talents. I wouldn't be as tilted if a lot of the characters functioned like this, and they had a lot of value here. But they keep releasing characters like this that have really overall dog trash stuff until it's like, oh, by the way, let's just nuke everything if you're an Electro unit. And I just feel like it's cheesy. And I feel like Farazan is one of those units that just doesn't bring a ton to the table that you can't get with other characters. Easier, and I feel like she's just this like bait character. And then as for gaming, awesome. Visually incredible design. I love the animations. I really, really like this character overall. I think really fun to play, and you can use him with C6 Bennett and stuff, but the big fatal flaw is it's a 4-star DPS unit, which is always going to fall off. It's always going to fall off. And so, I don't know. It's hard to be like, oh, you got to build this guy, because you probably have other 5-star units. And the nice thing is you don't really need all these. Like, he gets crazier at C6, but still pretty decent with some plunges. You can get some vapes going. Pretty cool. He's pretty cool. At least he's fun. But again, there's so many different like 4-star DPS units that I don't know. They're just not worth your time and effort, I'm being honest with you. There's so many in the game that just can't hang. But anyways, that's it. I would skip her. I would get Nahida. I'm actually going to go for C2 Nahida just because I want it. I just want it. That's all there is to it. I don't need it. I can beat everything in the game super easy, but I just want it. So I'm a degenerate who likes crazy passives, and that's all about. That's all I have to say. I love you guys. Have a good day. Goodbye.